Welcome back to the Royal Levitical Priesthood channel. I'm Dallas James, and today is February 19th, 2026. What you're about to hear is today's Life Force experiment, a 50-verse draw pulled through the Shield Protocol 10.3, using quantum randomness, from our 32,000-verse biblical corpus, the Urim-Thummim version with Ethiopian and Septuagint enhancements. The question we brought before the Father today was simple. What will be the Segullah message for today? Segullah, the treasured possession, the chosen, the ones he calls his own. And he answered. The lead verse, the first verse drawn, comes from the book of Job. Listen carefully. He is wise in heart, and mighty in strength. Who has hardened himself against him, and has prospered? That question hangs in the air like thunder before rain. It is rhetorical, and every generation that ever stiffened its neck against the Almighty already knows the answer. No one. Not one. The Father opens this drawer by laying the foundation. Resistance to him is not brave. It is not profitable. It is ruin dressed up as independence. And before the echo of Job fades, the second verse drawn, from Romans 13, presses the urgency. Now it is high time to awake out of sleep, because now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Do you hear the pairing? The lead verse asks who has prospered by hardening. And the very next verse says, wake up. Now. Today. Your deliverance is closer than it has ever been. This is not a word for someday. This is a word for right now. Now I need to be straight with you. This draw carries fire on both sides of the blade. Ezekiel declares, I will set my jealousy against you, and they will deal furiously with you. This is covenant jealousy, not the petty kind. This is the jealousy of a husband who will not share his bride with foreign gods. Then Numbers gives us the image of the bitter water, the water of the curse, administered to test faithfulness. That water does not punish the innocent. It reveals the truth. It is diagnostic. And the Father is still administering it. Then Jeremiah paints the portrait we all need to see. The women in Egypt, burning incense to foreign gods, standing in open defiance and declaring, as for the word that you have spoken to us in the name of Enoch, we will not listen to you. That is the anatomy of hardening. Not ignorance. Informed refusal. They knew whose name was speaking, and they said no anyway. And then Hebrews 10 escalates to the highest possible stakes. Of how much sorer punishment, suppose you, will he be thought worthy, who has trodden underfoot the Son of Elohim, and has counted the blood of the covenant an unholy thing, and has done insult to the Spirit of grace? 3 offenses. Trampling the Son. Profaning the blood. Insulting the Spirit of grace. That is the fullest possible breach of covenant. And it was drawn today, in this very sequence, following a lead verse about the futility of hardening. Meanwhile, from Genesis, the land is full of violence because of them. And from Revelation, the temple of the witness opens in heaven, and 7 messengers come forth with 7 plagues. The ark is unmistakable. What fills the earth eventually opens heaven's response. But the Father did not draw 50 verses just to warn. The warning is the frame. The promise is the portrait inside it. Ezekiel 36 speaks the covenant formula. Listen to this. You will be my people, and I will be your Elohim. I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn and will increase it, and lay no famine on you. After the testing, after the bitter water, after the purification, he claims you, he feeds you, he ends the famine. Isaiah 49 unfolds it further. Kings see, and have risen, princes, and worship, for the sake of Enoch who is faithful, the Holy of Israel, and he chooses you. He chooses you. Present tense. Active. Ongoing. And then, in an acceptable time I have responded to you, and in a day of deliverance I have helped you. And I will guard you, and employ you for a covenant pledge of the people, to cause to inherit the deserted heritage. The deserted heritage. The inheritances abandoned by those who hardened themselves. Those empty places are being redistributed to the Segullah, to the ones who stayed, who listened, who did not say we will not listen. 1 John distills it to its absolute essence. Those that have the Son have life, and those that have not the Son of Elohim have not life. There is no middle ground. And this is where the Segullah word becomes actionable. Hosea commands, "Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground, because it is time to inquire of which until he come and rains righteousness on you." And Haggai echoes, "Consider your ways. Go up to the mountain and gather timber, and rebuild the temple, and I will take pleasure in it, and I will be glorified." The Segullah are not passive. They build. They break fallow ground. They gather timber and rebuild what has been desolate. One more verse I need you to hear. From Enoch. "And I saw other lightnings and the stars of heaven, and I saw how he called them all by their names, and they hearkened unto him. Every star, named, and every star, obedient. They hearkened. They listened." The contrast with those women in Jeremiah who said we will not listen is devastating. The stars answer when called by name. The Segullah answer when called by name. The question today is, which are you? Now let me tell you what the mathematics found. The guidance detection indicator, our Fisher's combined probability test across all marker channels, registered extreme anomaly. The probability of this draws pattern occurring by pure chance is 1.83 times 10 to the negative 9th power. That is less than 2 in a billion. The Dominion Triad signal, the convergence of identity, inheritance, and priesthood markers, exceeded 7 standard deviations above baseline. Over 1,000% above expected. The Segullah density across the draw came in at 68.8%. More than 2/3 of every verse drawn carries chosen people significance. The polarity balance index reads leaning affirmative. The cautionary signal is real, it is present and it is loud, but the covenantal favor signal predominates. The warning exists in service of the promise. 5 of 6 analytical channels are active. The mathematics and the text agree. So here is the Segullah message for today, February 19th, 2026. To those who harden, who has ever hardened himself against him and prospered? The bitter water is still being administered. The jealousy of the covenant maker still burns. But to the Segullah, to the treasured ones, the ones who hear their name and answer, your salvation is nearer than when you first believed. The deserted heritages are being handed to you. The acceptable time has come. Break up your fallow ground. Gather the timber. Rebuild. The stars are listening. Will you? This has been the Life Force Experiment for February 19th, 2026, from Heart's Two Fathers Publishing and the Royal Levitical Priesthood Ministry. If this word meant something to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Shalom.